Hi, Daniel. Nice to see you this week. How have you been doing?
Hi, nice to see you as well. I think I've been doing a little, I guess, better than the past couple of weeks, but still just a little overwhelmed, stretched, it feels like.
Can you attach a feeling to that? How has that been making you feel if you're still kind of overwhelmed and stressed?
Um, I think it always kind of leads back to a little anxious, little anxiety, and nervousness, I guess, at times. I'm also a little sick now. 'Tis the season, I guess. So I guess that's kind of adding it to this week. Um, but yeah, it's sometimes hard to describe, honestly.
Do you feel like there's anything you could do to alleviate some of your stress?
Um, I think, I guess maybe focusing on stuff more that I feel like is important kind of in my life. Um, I know we had talked about it last time, or we had mentioned stuff like getting back into more creative aspects. Uh, and I think kind of maybe doing that might help, I guess, get me through the days a little better.
Okay. How do you think being more creative is going to help with your anxiety? Can you give me an idea of some things that you might do?
Sure. So I like songwriting is something I enjoy doing. Um, and I guess in the sense, in the past, people have described it to me kind of almost as journaling in that sense. So that's kind of relative or related to that. Um, and I guess, just writing feelings, or even if it's not, even if it's about random things, it's still enjoyable to like get into that mindset and kind of escape from whatever's happening.
When do you set aside time to do that during your day?
Nowadays, it's very difficult. I'm very bad at it recently, with school and jobs and internships and stuff. But I'm trying. I'm trying a little better. I think through some of these sessions, I'm trying to open more space for more
Okay.
of that time for myself. Um, so I am trying to fit it more into my daily routine.
What are you feeling right now talking about this? Because I see you smiling, and when talking about writing songs, what's that bringing up for you?
Yeah, I think it's almost like pure joy, in a sense. Um, it's just I've always liked the creative process of most things, and I think being able to do that, um, in yourself, especially when you're not doing it for others, is really opening. It just allows me to express, I guess, in the best way. I think it's difficult for me to express emotion, from growing up, and like I talked about my dad, kind of the perfectionism type of stuff, and I feel like that kind of suppresses some of the emotional emotions of it. And I think that doing it through creative processing is the best way to kind of get back into that side of me.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm excited for you that you have that outlet. I think it's important to recognize it, and the fact that you're trying to make time to do it in your busy day is very important, and I commend you. Have you ever considered starting the day with something like that?
Actually, no. Um, but now that you're saying it, it does sound like one of the smarter ways to go about it.
How would that make you feel to start your day with just something creative before you get into all of the obligations that you may have, work and school, etc.?
Yeah. I I think at least my hope would be I think it would set kind of the mood for the day. Just like they say, like work out in the morning or do whatever to get it done with, kind of because you ride that vibe for the rest of the day. Um, and I feel like maybe that's kind of hopefully that was what it would be like. So yeah, I've never even thought about doing that. But that sounds like an excellent idea.
You, it sounds like a great idea, but you hesitated a little bit. I'm curious what you were feeling right then with me suggesting you do something or asking you if you'd like to do something in the morning.
Sure. I think it's the time thing again, right? It's I like to try to keep routines specific. I have very like down to the minute type of stuff. And I think it's hard to start changing it a little bit, even if it would be beneficial, just throwing something else in there. But I do, and hopefully, like once some stuff starts, school finishes or internship, there'll be more time for it. But yeah, I think just being able to add something else to an already like set schedule, I think kind of scares me a little bit or sounds difficult.
Be scary. I hear you saying, different words like if I could, it could be something possibly I could add in. If you could rephrase those feelings or rephrase those and put some more joy into that feeling, what would you say versus I could try to fit that in?
Um, I can, or I always like the idea. I've heard this said a lot. Is like I have the privilege to, right, or the ability to, instead of like, oh, I can try to do this, or I have to do this, or blah blah blah. I think taking that mindset can sometimes help.
It
What do
sounds
you
like
think,
you're,
Kenny? Yeah.
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, no. I was just like, I just keep reiterating. It's just difficult. I guess it's just hard for me to break those like developed habits, honestly.
It sounds like you're open to it though. And I think I definitely want to recognize that and commend you on that because just being open to it and expressing that it brings you joy is a step in the right direction for you as far as what you'd like to accomplish. And I really think that I've seen a mix of emotion, but overall, you seem much more positive at this moment, discussing different options. So, one of the other things I wanted to ask you today was, do you feel like you could break down your day, not to the minute, but break down your day as far as things that you feel you need to get done versus have to get done?
Hmm. Like you want a list kind of right now in terms of
I'm just curious what you think are things that you need to get done versus what you absolutely have to get done.
um I think have tos have to go into the line of like I guess work obviously is like a big one, right? I have to go to work to get paid to live. Uh School deadlines, you have to meet those. I guess there's some leeway in a sense, but that's probably like second priority. I have to get those hit. Um, I guess in that sense, for me, importantly, it's like physical activity is also big. It's almost like a drive. I have to work out or move or something along those lines every day,
Okay.
just to feel. But I guess that could be a need or in the second category as well. But for me, it feels very important.
Excellent. Well, I think that you are in a situation right now that I'm hearing is that you are experiencing a little bit of being overwhelmed, but you also know what you have to do and that you don't let it overwhelm you to the minute. Maybe you can fit in some of that joy that we were talking about. How do you think that would make you feel?
Yeah, I think I would like it. I think being able to do that, like you said, instead of having the oh I could or do this, being able to add it in would be beneficial.
So maybe for our next session, we can talk a little bit more about your feelings and I'd love to ask you again if you've incorporated anything as far as your self-care, but realistically, knowing what brings you joy, I think is half the battle. You are very insightful and just the changes in your demeanor when you're talking about things that like writing lyrics, I think can be really beneficial to slowing down your day a little bit. Um, so tell me what you think about that plan. Maybe for the next time we can see how you might have fit it in.
Yeah, yeah, like a little homework assignment, right?
Yeah, kind of. And not, just see what you can do. Base this on yourself, and we'll set something up for next week if that works.
Awesome. Sounds like a plan.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week.